Now, before we get to part two, I have to give a quick shout out for today's sponsor. It's FTX US. You've probably heard of them before. They're very popular as a very large crypto exchange. They have millions of users on it trading crypto. That's not my thing. I don't know how to do analysis on these things. I think they're speculative and very volatile. It's just not for me.
One of the largest U.S. regulated cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, trusted by millions of users to buy, sell, track, and trade both crypto and NFT.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Let's get that money. You like money? I like money. Let's get that money together. We got options, we got trading, we got classes, we got private coaching. We got it all, so let's get that money together.
Now, before we get to part two, I have to give a quick shout out for today's sponsor. It's FTX US. You've probably heard of them before.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm just making a joke, of course. But actually at the beginning, that was Joseph Carlson, which was not a joke. If you don't know, he was one of the original FTX pumpers. He was a YouTuber pumping FTX. And in fact, he might have been with the FTX pumper agency. I'm not sure. I couldn't confirm that, but I said it as a possibility. And it's also a true story. He was telling everyone that Netflix had a fantastic earnings, and you can see today it's down like 8.5%, 9%, which is pretty unreal.
Welcome back, everyone. We have some breaking news. We're going to be talking about Netflix's earnings report. I have the letter right here. I have the results, I have the numbers, and we're going to be diving into it, going over everything. That's it. That's the Netflix report. Now, I'll have more details on this and further analysis diving into all the nitty-gritty financials and everything. But my impression on this so far is I view it very positively. There's a couple little things that you could critique here, but when I look at the main drivers of Netflix intrinsic value, I see all of it moving in the right direction. So for me, even though this has been a crazy hold, a company that's really volatile, I'm still on the journey. I'm still holding on to Netflix. I think it will beat the S&P 500 over the next couple of years. Now, before we get to part two, I have to give a quick shout out for today's sponsor. It's FTX US. You've probably heard of them before.
And the reason why I make these videos is because I really get it. If you search on YouTube, you're like, oh, what's the hottest stocks? What's the best stocks? These are the kind of YouTube channels that come up because literally that's what they put the titles. Hottest stocks, best stocks, penny stocks, all these kind of stuff. And then you see all the subscribers they have, et cetera. And it seems like, oh, well, they must be really smart. And then moreover, they love God. And I'm sure you guys know, if you love God, then you must be really, really good with money. I mean, a joke. Now, and honestly, guys, this is real. Like, if you're into religion, that's your thing, totally fine, no problem. But to use, religion, to use a smiling face and to be friendly and et cetera, and to get people to buy into your scamming classes like that, I have a real problem with. And I just wanted to point that out. So I want to go through some of these things and warn you about a lot of these people on YouTube. Let's take a look together. So first, as we already mentioned, Joseph Carlson was an FTX YouTuber. Actually, true story. It's right here. Netflix, huge victory. It shows they don't know anything he's talking about. It was ridiculous. And if you don't know about Joseph Carlson, it was like last year, a couple of years ago, he was buying all these stocks at the top. It was like Spotify, Shopify, and a bunch of stuff like that, like bubble stocks. Big ARK Invest kind of person, Tesla, et cetera. And if you guys know which bubble ones he was buying, please, you can write in the comments. But yeah, he was a bubble guy. He's got a nice speaking voice, 100%, but doesn't know anything about this stuff. What he does know, though, this is also a true story. He does know how to sell a Patreon and a Discord, buys and sells, portfolio, et cetera. Convince 4,000 people, give him $10, and you get full access to all his financial wisdom. True story. Carlson, I think he's Mormon. I'm not sure exactly, but he's from Utah. I think there's a high chance of that. And he's a software developer, which is totally fine, right? But he's not qualified or knowledgeable. And in fact, plain out wrong, Netflix, a huge victory. But this is much of YouTube, is these kind of people. And, moreover, you can look at like this kind of person, Tom Nash. True story, Tom Nash, this is his fake name. This is not even a real name. We don't even know where he lives. And this guy's a total lie. Oh my God, Tesla's going to go to 1,500, right? This kind of people. It's everywhere, unfortunately. And that's why sort of it feels like that these people are legitimate because everyone on YouTube is doing it, right? Even your Spencer dude, he's like, oh my God, guys, you're going to, get 50 to 80%, increase your income, buy my course, right? That kind of stuff. True story, he's selling a course. Stock Curry, another kind of person. This is also a true story. He's a religious dude. He has a nice smiling face. Right here he is. Your guide to financial success. And you're like, Chris, what do you mean religious? It's right here. I'm not making it up. Real Christian Life, the evangelical mystery of Scott Curry. And again, guys, if you're into religion, that's fine. I got no problem with that. But to use religion to sell people stuff it is pretty egregious. The worst person actually we talked about several times on this channel, Larry Jones, he's always doing your Sunday, Sunday school kind of, and I'm not making it up. He like films videos from his car, saying how much he loves God and therefore you should buy his, stock classes. And it's true. He's got this stuff, beginner basics, right? Charting with Josh, option with Keenan. There's your stock Curry, whoever this person, I don't know, mommy trader. But these people, they're all friends with each other because they're all kind of the same type of person, right? They sell you scammy stuff. Stock Mo's in there as well. And it's sad, and I don't make this my exclusive content on my channel, point out scammers, but you got to do it from time to time because, unfortunately, because there's so many of these people, and then the way they work as well, when they work in cahoots and then work as a team, right? They legitimatize each other. And I want to point out too, regarding the Mormon Church, right? They've had crazy amounts of scandals this past year. This is a true story. Look, you read the headlines. Fed finds Mormon Church for illicitly hiding $32 billion investment fund behind shell companies. And again, if you believe in religion, that's totally fine. But don't get scammed just because you love God, and don't get scammed by someone who's got a nice smile and a nice speaking voice, right? Go with numbers, especially with something like finances. Use your mind, read the real numbers, and don't let emotion rule you. Here's another one: $2.3 billion awarded in sex abuse lawsuit that named Mormon Church. So please be careful out there. And we got to mention Chris Sane, of course. It's funny because who still watches this guy? He's probably who's the biggest scammer on the internet? Who knows? But I haven't mentioned him that much lately. But I just figured he would disappear. But no, they don't. These people keep popping back up. The same way that Carlson, who again pumped you FTX platform, right? He was paid money to do so. He's like, you know what? Let's get that money. I'll use my spying space, and it is what it is. So anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this thing, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Now, before we get to part 2, I have to give a quick shout out for today's sponsor. It's FTX US. You've probably heard of them before. They're very popular as a very large crypto exchange. They have millions of users on it, trading crypto. That's not my thing. I don't know how to do analysis on these things. I think they're speculative and very volatile. It's just not for me.
One of the largest U.S. regulated cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, trusted by millions of users to buy, sell, track, and trade both crypto and NFTs.
They've been the ones that are going out, investing in and buying other crypto exchanges that are struggling. So they've been growing very quickly. They bought a chunk of Robinhood. They bought a chunk of BlockFi.
I have to decide if I want to do more, but know that if I'm doing more, it's just a cash grab. Because I got 10 days to make these videos. But hey, I'm going to be transparent about it. Hey, it's a lot of money. It's like, a couple $1,000 a video. And for 30 seconds, read, whatever.
I love the game of money and climbing that wealth pyramid and things like that. I think it's fun.
And this is a red flag that everybody should be paying attention to. I'll explain in just a moment, right after I mention that if you want to take advantage of buying the crypto dip, check out our sponsor today, FTX. To learn more all about the FTX trading platform and their trading apps.